We're going to make a single briolette necklace. Okay, and what I'm going to use today, again, you can use any gem size briolette you'd like. This is about a 15 by 12, and this is a Swarovski crystal. It's quite pretty, and it's very easy to match with just about anything because it is clear with the Aurora Borealis finish. Okay, that's what I have on hand. You can use any kind of gemstone you like. You can use a glass bead, anything. Basically, all you need is the teardrop shape. If you have the teardrop shape, we're good to go. Okay, so we have that. We have 16 inches. That's generally the standard use of the amount of chain that I use. You can make it smaller or longer according to what you have. If you already have a necklace that you want to layer it with, you'd want to do it an inch shorter or longer than the necklace that you're wearing, that you already have. That way you should have about an inch between lengths of your necklaces for layering. Okay, I also have a clasp. I have a chain tag. 2 3mm jump rings, which I've already opened, and about 4 inches of, this is 22 gauge artistic wire. All these projects can be used with a cheaper chain, a base metal silver plated chain. You can use a sterling silver chain, gold filled, gold chain, whatever you like. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our briolette, and this is a top drilled briolette, which means the drill is right through the top. Okay, I'm going to stick my wire right through it. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to make a loop right at the top of it. So I'm going to circle the wire right around like this. And if you notice, the loop is pointing up. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to do the exact same thing. You may not need the whole 4 inches of wire, but it's better to have more than less. Because you can't add, you can only cut. Okay, so now I have two-sided loops on both sides. Now you're going to take your chain. This is 16 inches of chain. I have not cut this chain. That way I can ensure that I'm going to have an even length on both sides. So, and also take into consideration how large your clasp and chain tag are, and your jump rings, that length, because it will affect the length of your necklace. So if you want it exactly 16 inches, you're going to have to measure those, lay it out to make sure, and subtract that from your length of chain. Okay, so now I've just slid that chain on. It's okay to just do one side now. Then I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to go right around. I'm holding my circle at this particular moment. Okay, and you want to get this as close as possible to your briolette. And I'm using my standard tools today, my jewelry pliers, my wire cutters, and my crimps. Okay? Now, what I'm doing now is I'm pushing that coil so that it's tight together. So one side is done. And I don't even have an extra tag of wire. So it's actually quite flush and quite well done. And it doesn't always work out that way. It just happens to be luck. Sometimes you really have to work with it. So be patient. Sliding the next side of your loop, your chain on your loop, right in. Okay. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing. See? Take that loop in my pliers and I'm going to go right around. The same amount of times as I did on the other side. And so I did 2 on the other side. I will do 2 on this. Okay? Again, push your loops in against, I'm pushing in. Okay, now this side I have to trim, of course, because it was longer. As close as possible. You want to trim that as close as possible. Okay, without, and be very careful not to actually trim your loop. Okay, so now I have both sides. Now, you might want to adjust those loops. You might want to pull them out so that when you're wearing it, it will hang a little bit better. So there we go. We have that part. Now, to finish this piece, I'm going to make sure that my briolette is right in the center. Okay, I'm going to go right to the end, and that seems to be the center, the even part. I'm going to clip that chain, the loop right there. Wear your eye protectors because it's very easy to get hit with flying chain when you're cutting chain and wire. Now I'm going to slide one of my jump rings on, my 3mm jump ring. It's already open. You can do that ahead of time so that it's quicker for you for your project. I'm going to slide my chain tag on. I'm going to close this, take my crimps, okay, make sure these are tight. Again, you don't want to have your chain break. Okay, that's one side done. Next side, exact same way, except this is going to be my clasp side. Okay, close up your jump ring. If you see, I'm pushing down a little bit on the jump ring. That's to get a very nice tight closure. Now I'm going to slide my clasp into my chain tag, and I have a finished briolette necklace, which is actually really easy to layer with any kind of other necklace you want. You could do a couple of these briolettes. To find out all the places to find all these chains and supplies needed for these projects, go to my blog, written on the screen below, and it will give you links to the best places that I know of. Thank you.
It's not that unusual when everything is beautiful.